Welcome back to our ongoing training for being a leader of a Grace Walk group. I'm glad that the Lord has stirred your heart to share the message with folks through Grace Walk groups, and I've been praying that He'll use you in a great way to share this message and make a lot of people aware of the truth of who they are in Christ and what it means to live in grace. If you have not yet emailed me, or better yet, not emailed, but in the blog down below this one, if you'll look down, you'll see a list of names of people who have indicated that they want to be added to our website as a Grace Walk group leader. If you've not yet put your name on that list, it's important for you to do that so that I'll know who to put up on the website, because we're going to put that up very soon, and I want to make sure I have the names of everybody who wants to be a Grace Walk group leader, who's committed to it. So if you'll give me that information, your name, an address, a phone number, and even an email address where you can be reached, that would be helpful, so that when people in your area want to attend a Grace Walk group, we can make them aware of how to contact you. Now, in this time, we're going to talk about the group meeting itself. And we're about ready to begin meeting formally with the groups. And I want to talk to you about the meeting when you get together. And I call it a meeting. I don't know what else to call it, a gathering, whatever you want to call it. When the group comes together in your home, I want to talk about the components of the meeting. First of all, let's talk about where we're going to meet. I would encourage you to begin, if you're doing this as a home group, to begin by having the meetings in your own house. And the reason why is because you can act as the host. You have more control over the environment, what's happening, whether or not there will be distractions. Like you wouldn't want a television blaring in the other room next to where you're watching the videos, or you'd want to have more control, I suppose, over children or pets in the house or anything like that might affect the ability to really communicate with the folks that come to the group. So I'd recommend starting having the meetings at your house if you're going to do it at home. Some of you are going to do it in your church in a Bible study there, and that's fine, but I'm talking about if you're doing it at home. Later on, you may decide to rotate and have it in different people's homes, and there'd be nothing wrong with that. There's certainly no hard and fast need for you to follow one particular way of doing it or another in terms of where you meet. I'm just recommending that to start with, you might want to do this at your house, just as I say, so you can have control over the environment. Now, when you meet together, there are several things that I want to talk to you about that will be options for you as you gather together in your group. And I want to talk to you about a few things. First of all, worship, and then sharing, and then prayer, and then the actual teaching time, and then fellowship time. Those are the 5 components. And it's not that you have to do all 5 of these. It's not something that is set in iron, but I would encourage you to, if you do each of these things, then I'm just giving you some advice on what might be helpful. Some of you have led small groups, and maybe you don't even need this. Others of you will benefit from this. But let's start with worship. And by that I mean some groups will want to have worshipful singing, a time of praise and singing. And if you have somebody who plays an instrument and you're able to do that, that's fine. If you have somebody that can lead the singing, that's good. Maybe you'll be the one that can do that. If not, maybe somebody else in the group can do it. I would encourage you to sing familiar songs, sing songs that people know. If you're going to sing songs that people might not be totally familiar with, you might want to print out the words to the music, to the songs, so that they can have that in their hands, because it's awkward when everybody's singing and you don't know the words. I go into churches sometimes like that now, where they'll have songs that I'm not at all familiar with, and I'm always thankful to see PowerPoint lyrics up on the screen so that I can at least see the words and begin to try to learn the song with them. So I want to encourage you to do that. Maybe you don't want to sing. Maybe you just want to play some music, and even as people are coming in, have some background music playing, and that would be fine too. And again, this is not something that I'm insisting that you need to do, but I'm saying if you do it, pick familiar songs, and you might want to print out words if you're going to have people sing. Pick somebody who knows how to sing to lead the songs. I've been in meetings where, on retreats especially, where there might be singing and you've got somebody trying to lead singing who can't even carry a tune. You would think it would not be necessary to even say that, but It's amazing the things that go on. So make sure if you're going to get somebody to lead the singing, that it's somebody who can sing. I don't mean they need to be a pro, but they need to at least be able to carry a tune and carry the tempo along and have people follow them. All right, next thing is sharing together. When our hearts are filled and we get to know each other and gain a certain sense of comfort level with each other, before you pray, there will want to be times that you allow people to share their hearts. This is something that often doesn't happen in traditional churches, but I think it's very important, a chance for people to share what's going on in their lives. One thing that I would recommend that would be good is, as your group is forming in the early stages, maybe take some time. First of all, you share your own life story. It might be people that there are people in the group that know you well, but that's okay. They probably never heard you share your own life story. Share your own story. Talk about a little about what your life was like before you came to know Christ, how you came to know Christ, what your life has been like since you've come to know Him. Certainly, as the Grace Walk group leader, it would be very important for you to talk to the group about how you came to understand your identity in Christ and what it means to walk in grace. Don't be hesitant to be very transparent and vulnerable and honest. If you want people to be honest with the group about their struggles and weaknesses and challenges, then you need to model that and let them see that with you. So not just as you share your life story, but all along the way, learn to be very transparent and truthful as you share with the group, so that they'll see that it's a safe environment in which they can be free to share their own personal needs and their own struggles as well. And you're going to have folks as you move along that are going to share with circumstances that are going on in their lives pertaining, I'm sure, to their children, to possibly to their marriage, to their finances, to their health, to their extended family, personal things that they probably wouldn't get up in church and talk about, but in a small group like the Grace Walk group, they might be willing to do that. So as you share your own story, be very vulnerable and transparent as you talk about your journey in grace and where the Lord's brought you to. You don't have to pretend that you have it all together. You don't have to pretend you've crossed the finish line. In fact, don't pretend that, because none of us have. But just be real, and people will connect to your story. Don't try to talk spiritual or sound spiritual. Just be yourself. And people are going to see, that you'll make mistakes. You might say the wrong word, but there's no bad way to give good news. So just relax and be yourself, and share from your heart. And then you might ask, privately, ask a few folks in the group as you go along. Next week, would you be willing to share your story of how you came to understand who you are in Christ and what it means to live in grace? And just get people to share from their hearts. You may say to the group when you're during the sharing time, are there any specific things going on in your life that you'd like for us to pray for you